Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. I honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state,
under God, one
indivisible. Okay, January 23rd, 2026. It's 10 p.m., 10 a.m. The Commissioners Court of JWC County is now in session. Okay. Line item number 3, public testimony. Is there anybody in the audience that wants?
I do.
Would like to speak? Do we have anybody, JC?
Judges on the screen.
Okay, not being any, we'll go to,
Mr.
Well-
Garcia. Judge Trevino's up there.
okay, go ahead, Judge.
How are y'all doing this morning? This is Pedro P. Trevino, your county judge. I just wanted to touch up on the weather event that's supposed to be blowing in this weekend and through a couple of days of next week. We've been working very diligently with our emergency managers, and I say our emergency managers because Lance Brown and Patrick Thomas from the city, we've been working together on these issues. As you will see in our bulletins that we've been released, we have both our logos because we've been working together with the city. We've been working together with the mayor, Ms. Pettis from Fremont, our mayor in Alice, Mayor Carrasco, Todd Wright from Orange Grove, and Cheto Pettis has kept us appraised on our team members. So we want everybody to become aware of the storm that's coming in. When things like this happen, I come out and provide warning to our constituents. We want to make sure that your family, your pets, your property is safe. Make sure we're covering exposed water pipes, that we're using heaters, that we bring pets indoors. And the safety and security is most precedent right now. And we never want to use grills, ovens, generators, or anything of the sort indoors that may create other hazards. I want to express that if there's any emergency, to please call 911 immediately. I think starting Sunday evening, Sunday night, Monday night, as far as the reports that we're getting so far, we're going to get these real cold temperatures. So that being said, for some of our constituents out there, we do have overnight warming centers, and for Jim Wells County, it'll be at our county fairgrounds, Cross Trails Cowboy Church in Orange Grove, and the Laughlin Building in Fremont. If there's any questions at all, anybody can call 361-227-4812. So a little later on today, I'll be doing a live on social media, presenting the same information, and I will resend the bulletins that we've put out. And I do want to stress that these bulletins could be changed at any second with any changes of the weather. Of course, we're collaborating very closely with our partners from the National Weather Service. I know that our Sheriff's Department is ready. I know our county commissioners have been working hard to be ready, and our PDs, our police departments, they're also working very diligent to get prepared. And what we're getting prepared for is to be responsive, not reactive, but to be responsive. Never know what could happen in situations like this. But otherwise, I thank everybody, and I thank my commissioners over there. I know they've been working diligently and very hard. Our county attorney's been working very hard. Our staff, basically everybody's been working very hard. The old adage that it takes a village, I don't like to really use that, but in this case, it takes a village to make sure our people are safe. And I'm going to reiterate, if you have neighbors that are elderly, please check up on them. Families that are out there in the rural areas of Jim Wells County, La Parrita, areas like that. Please be diligent of the surroundings and your neighbors. I know that you all do that on a daily basis, but in here, let's kick it up a notch. Let's make sure that our neighbors are safe, and especially the elderly. Other than that, I will be coming on periodically to give updates, and I want everybody to stay safe and secure. And it is Jim Wells County's mission to make sure that this is happening. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a report?
Lance Brown, Jim Wells County Emergency Management. Just like Judge had said, we want everybody to stay safe. Commissioner Huicho and I were in Fremont. We met with the superintendent, met with the mayor yesterday, met with the police department. We have Fremont pretty much battened down, very good. Judge and I and Pat, we've been working very hard right here for our central area. We have that plans all pretty much in place with our library being open up as well during the daytime. And then with our women's building, Commissioner Ventura, I appreciate you opening the doors for us over there and letting us use that facility. That's going to be a huge blessing for us. We have cots in Fremont, 50 of them, and we have over 200 of them here in the central, and then we have over 120 in Orange Grove. So we have roughly almost 500. But if we see that type of participation, we have more than just our local problems. We have state assets, TDM, that are going to be here. They're actually staging some equipment at the fairgrounds for first responders, whether they can be for Jim Wells County, Nueces, or our neighboring counties. As of yesterday's report, Wednesday's report looked like it was going to be pretty bad. Yesterday's report kind of gave us a glimmer of hope. We went up a couple of 2 or 3 degrees. So instead of it being 31, 32, now it's still going to be, 34, 36, which is good because it's not freezing, but it's still extreme temperatures with the wind chills down in the 20s. Ms. Isabel and myself and Judge, we have another conference call at 2 o'clock with our partners. On our flyers, we put subjects to could change, because if this thing keeps stalling out, right now our plans are to open up the warming center at 6 o'clock on Saturday. It's not anticipated to start getting cold until probably around 9 to 12 o'clock on Saturday, but we want everybody to get to where they need to get going before bad is bad. So Judge came up and said, 6 o'clock would be fabulous for everybody to get there. And then we have a start date, and we have to have an end date. And that's going to be Wednesday at 8 o'clock. We think that the weather's going to be beautiful, at the end of next week. But that all subject to change, because if this thing keeps on stalling out, it might be cold Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we might shut it down. So on our disclaimers, we put, we're just going to follow the weather and see what she determines on how long we stay open for. And then on the north side, like Judge had said, Todd Wright got everything battened down for us over there. He's been a great team player for us, a huge asset to us as well. And, Judge is leading this ring, and he's doing a mighty fabulous job of it. And, we couldn't ask for a better leader. And I think that we are prepared to respond and recover under any circumstances. So we just ask that everybody please stay safe, and in the event of a disaster, please call 911. Sheriff's Department's ready to go, Orange Grove PD, Fremont PD, all of our constables, fire departments are all ready. EMS, we've had meetings with them, and we will have 7 responding in Jim Wells County. So everybody's on heightened alert, and just be sure and check on human life. That's most important. Check on the less fortunate and the elderly, and make sure that we're good, because we are a very resilient county, and we're a very tight-knit county. So I know God's definitely going to see us through this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the audience? Not being any, we proceed with line item number 4. Discuss, consider, and take action to approve minutes from previous meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Line item number 5, presentation. Presentation by peer review A&M University Extension, and introduce Ann Maria Torres, Extension Agent, Community and Development Service, Jim Wells County.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. My name is Jimmy Henry. I serve as our program leader for our Community and Economic Development Unit at Prairie View A&M University. For those of you that don't know, Prairie View A&M University is part of the Texas A&M system. And as a part of that, we offer community and economic development services as a partnership with AgriLife Extension. And so I wanted to introduce you all to Ms. Ann Marie Torres, who will serve as our community and economic development agent within the county of Jim Wells. This is an expense that's totally covered by Prairie View A&M University as we look to expand in counties across the state of Texas. Ms. Torres will be responsible for all things small business development, youth entrepreneurship, housing, and workforce development. Those are the primary areas that we work in within our cooperative extension program at Prairie View A&M University. And so all that we ask is that she support it when she comes to the office at the county office. Say anything?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the commissioners and the judge, of course, for welcoming me. I know I've met with some of you, and some of you I have not met with yet, but I also want to thank Commissioner Weichel, because him and Ms. Mandy Johnson, we started the financial literacy session already. So, and they've accommodated me with the Laughlin Center, and we've been working together with Ms. Mandy Johnson to bring different things to the area in Precinct 4. So I'm very thankful for that. And I hope to also bring those same financial literacy classes to the other precincts, which are a little bit closer to, the different areas of Jim Wells County. So I'll be calling and working with y'all. And I'm from Claiborne County, so neighbors, and I'm very passionate about our rural communities. And that's one of the reasons why I'm also here and I joined Prairie View. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
Can I say something?
Georgia. Go ahead, Judge.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you all very much. I was introduced to her, Ms. Torres, a few weeks ago, but I've known her for a long time. We've been in committees before. So thank you all very much. We really appreciate y'all having Jim Wells County in your sights. Anything that we can provide that our constituents that can help them is always a plus. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, line item number 5. Presentation by Radical Profile Report as required by TECO by Constable Precinct number 1, Albert Martinez.
Good morning, Constable Martinez, Precinct 1, Jim Wells County. Morning. The reason I'm here this morning is that I've submitted the yearly racial profiling to TECO as required, and in doing so, I'm required to bring it either Commissioner's Court or the County Clerk's Office for filing. and everything is on the up and up and nothing out of the ordinary. Just the traffic stops that I'm able to conduct while I'm out there conducting civil process service at school zones. That's all I have for you, unless y'all have any questions.
Thank you. We'll file it with the county clerk.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you all very much.
IT Department, and take action to enroll Jimos County in the Employee Texas DARE Certification Cybersecurity Awareness Training, fiscal year 2025 and 2026.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is
morning.
Robert Silva from IT Department, and I requested to table it because I'm going to be working with the cybersecurity company, Core Recon, to schedule the training session and figure out where to attend the training session. Also, I want to be able to determine the deadline, all that. So I'm going to send you the email, or we're going to work with Core Recon on that.
Make a motion to table the item as presented, Judge.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Robert.
Robert.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Thank you. And item number 6, discuss, consider, and take action to accepting Sarah's service proposal on hosting the Jimos County website. It's you again.
Thank you, sir.
This is an annual renewal to host the website, the county website that we have on it. I know for the past 10 years, the Texas Association of County have provided a service and help us maintain the website, keep the website going. Basically, this is the quote. And you look at the page number 2 on that, you'll see that this is a individualized quote outline the cost of web hosting support and maintenance service for Jimos County over the next 3 years. The pricing reflects current and updated rate. And this quote is based on my current package. There's like 2 different packages. There's one basic and enterprise or ultimate. Ultimate is the highest package, and basically it allows us to customize our website. The basic does not. If you look at the page 2, you will know the price increase. This year we're going to be paying the same, and for the next 2 years it's going to be a tremendously increase. The reason for the increase, because if you look at page 4, I asked tax explanation why the cost increase. They're trying to work real hard to keep the cost stable over time, but the update reflects some costs that they previously absorbed on our behalf, but can longer continue to do so. They're actually all the county members to cover the cost of the website pricing. The good thing about it is that they're working hard to keep it a minimum competitive pricing. That's the lowest competitive price. They told me that it's better than the other competitor providers. So we wanted to continue with that. So request your approval to accept the quote for the next 3 years.
Oh, can I say something? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The CIRA, it's the County Information Resource Agency, and that's through TAC. And TAC is going to help us customize our website. It's also going to allow us to become current with some bills and laws that passed through the legislature that we have to customize the website to make it visible an audible for any special needs constituents out there that would like to peruse through our websites. We have to update them. This is going to be crucial because there is an end date on when we have to get that done. And I think it's April 2027. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is correct. That being so, it is crucial that we do have CIRA and TAC assist us in this venture.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, line item 7, grant. Discuss, consider, take action on bids received for the Jim Wells County, Texas CDBG contract CDV 230313, funded by the Texas Department of Agricultural. Bids will be open and read out loud by project engineer Raul Garcia and R.E. Garcia and Associates, and recorded for review and analyzed to be considered by the engineer and the county.
Good morning.
Raul, how are you doing?
Good morning, Commissioners. We're here today to open up a bid for the
What's your name, sir?
Raul Garcia, project engineer. This is for Jim Wells County, Texas CDBG contract number CDV 230313. This is for water line replacement on Herrera and on Rosario Drive in Rancho Alegre. There's 2-inch lines there now. We're gonna replace them with 8-inch and put fire hydrants on there. We're gonna be looping up the McMaster's 12-inch line that was installed a couple of years ago and go all the way to BIM Station. So what we completed just recently on 5154, at that tie to beam, this is gonna now start completing that loop and enhance that whole area. We received 5 bids, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Names all the time they came in. You can use this as a bid type sheet. Also, before we get started, I'd like to have anybody in the audience that came for this particular bid open to come in and sign in, please. For record purposes that go into the grant file. Yes. You want to stop anything? Yeah, you got it. Yes, sir. We'll go ahead and get started. Again, we received five bids. I'll open them up and read them in no particular order. The first bid was Tom Oaks Construction. Okay, we have a bid bond. We got a bid of $359,500. $359,500. The next one is D&J Utility Services LLC. D&J Utility Services LLC. well sealed. Okay. We have a bid bond. We got a bid of 385,700. 385,700. The next bid is the 5125 company. 5125 company. We got a bid bond. We get a bid of 444,444. 444,444. The next bid is from Bridges Specialty Incorporated. Bridges Specialty. Yeah, that may be easier, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Letter opener. We have plenty.
We have a bid bond. We got a bid of 634,555. 634,555. D&M Underground Corporation, D&M. We have a bid bond. We got a bid of 534,300. 534,300. That is the last bid. I'll take these with me and tabulate them and have them to the commission early next week and with my recommendation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raul. Introduce a motion.
Make a motion to accept the bids
For review.
or review. Mr. Garcia.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay. Line item 7. Discuss considering that the Texas Department of Agriculture requires that Texas CDBG grant recipients present the Section 3 goal of the CDBG program in an open meeting of the local government prior to proceeding with construction for the CDV 230313 grant. Well, there you are. I was wondering.
Here I am.
You can state your name, please.
Yes. Hi, my name is Lucy Cook Hildreth. I am with Grant Works, and I'm here to give you guys the Section 3 presentation. Now, you guys have probably heard this presentation before. As was mentioned, we've got it up on the screen. Okay, good. So this is a requirement that Texas Department of Agriculture and HUD asks that their grant recipients do if they're fixing to go into construction. So this is a good thing that you're hearing this, because this means that this project is progressing. As we just heard, our bid openings, so now we're going to go talk about who's going to actually be awarded this contract. But anytime there is an economic opportunity that is presented with these federal funds, that's why they want us to come in and talk about the opportunities as how they would be presented to folks of Section 3 businesses or Section 3 workers. So we'll kind of talk a little bit more about that. But the next slide, if you would, please. You can, thank you. So this is a little bit more information about our contract that we're working on right now. So this is the CDV 23, which stands for the 2023 funds, 0313. The total contract award was $500,000, and we've got a county match of $10,000. And as Eddie mentioned just previously, this is for a water improvements project that's going to be on Rosario.
Is there an in-kind?
In kind, no. This is listed in the contract as a cash match. I can certainly look into it. In kind is going to require that we ask ahead of time in the application phase, and I did not see that that had been asked for. You have to ask for, they call it force account, and you can either use labor from the county or you can use materials as long as they were procured correctly. So I can certainly look and find out, but
you.
I didn't think so, but we'll look. Next slide, please. All right, so, excuse me, as I mentioned, this particular grant, the federal funds come through U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and then they get funneled through Texas Department of Agriculture. So our grant is technically with TDA, or Department of Agriculture. All right, next slide, please. So as I mentioned, that's a condition of this funding, and here is kind of the legal connection. So it said that the Section 3 rules were developed basically for HUD back in the 1968. So this has been going on for a while, that they've been concerned about making sure that we use federal funds to help our Section 3 folks. But it's basically that to whatever greatest extent feasible, you provide economic opportunities to low and very low income individuals or businesses. So next slide, please. All right, so that means that we're going to ensure that our Section 3 businesses have the information that they need to submit bids and proposals, just like we just heard, and that Section 3 workers have information about any available job opportunities. Usually these projects are focused a bit more on the Section 3 businesses having the opportunities. Economic opportunities for individuals are going to be more like if something was created where you would have jobs that would come directly to those establishments. So you can, if you are having trouble sleeping at night, you certainly can look up this policy and get a little bit more information. There's a connection there for you, but yeah, so it's a lot of regulation and red tape. But next slide, please. So a company can qualify as a Section 3 business if they're owned by a low-income person. If they're owned by somebody that is a Section 8 assisted housing resident, or, and this is what we see more commonly, 75% of all labor hours of that business in a 3-month period are performed by Section 3 workers. So individuals can, or business owners can register. There is a HUD website there where they can register as a Section 3 business. So it's kind of a great way to go and look. And it's one of the ways that when we are doing our bid outreach, we actually check this and make sure that we are outreaching to those groups. Next slide, please. So this project is expected to have a couple of contract opportunities. Now, grant administration services, you guys have already procured grant works for that. That's me. We have engineering services that have been procured already, and that was Mr. Eddie Garcia with R.E. Garcia and Associates. And then we're going to have a prime contractor, and that's to be determined. So those were the bids that we all just opened, and we're going to look at a little bit closer. And then at this time, we don't anticipate any subs, but bid opening was today, so that's good. All right, next slide, please. All right, so just a real quick, somebody that might qualify as a Section 3 worker, this is according to, it's different for different counties, but for Jim Wells County, anyone that has an annual income of below the county threshold for a single family size, which is about $38,150. So that's typically what we see. A current or recent youth build participant, I can talk. We don't see those as much, but that's another program that's through HUD. So the anybody that is a Section 3 worker can certainly look for job opportunities. They're usually listed in that workintexas.gov, and there's also a separate website that HUD has in their portal for folks that are looking for job opportunities as a Section 3 person. So next slide, please. Okay. So this is our map of our county and our project area. It's that kind of little red dot right there. It's hard to see. I tried to put a little arrow on it, but what we're doing is we're looking for Section 3 workers that reside near the project location. Those are considered target Section 3 workers. Everybody that's in the county that could be a Section 3 worker, we're still interested in reaching. Target Section 3 is a little bit higher priority because it's just trying to provide, think local, right? So it's trying to provide opportunities as local as possible. So, all right, next slide, please. All right, so don't panic. It says the county will track all hours worked on the project based on 3 categories of workers. GrantWorks will track that, so you guys are okay. We got you. But this is something that our labor department with GrantWorks tracks. So this is why we have some pretty strict protocols for when our contractor gets set up. They have to put a lot of information into the I think it's the LCP tracker, which is a big database that tells us what's going on with folks that are Section 3 workers that might be working for them. But we do keep track of all that. All the workers, any Section 3 workers, and then targeted Section 3 workers is tracked throughout the life of the project. So, all right, next slide, please. I think this is actually my last one. So that's what's going to happen and what's going on, and we will try to make sure that we have as many opportunities provided to Section 3 folks as possible. Typically, you don't see a lot of it in these projects, but it's good to do what we can to try and provide that opportunity. I do have our civil rights officer, and that would be Judge Trevino listed up here. And I did want to put the economic code that we have that ties everything basically back to these regulations and why we're doing this in the first place. That is all I have. Is there any questions you guys have? Other than, I know there was a question about doing the in-kind. Any questions that you guys have, I'm happy to take them right now. There's some fun links in there for more fun on regulations if you want to read all that.
On these projects here,
Yes, sir.
would it be a project manager? Would it be coming from you guys? Would it be coming from the contractor? Who does it come from?
Well, it's a team effort, sir. So we definitely, I will be your project manager for all the stuff pertaining to administrative related things. So I'm going to handle getting draws submitted, making sure we get our reports in on time, all of that fun stuff. I'll be working pretty closely with our project engineer, who is going to be working, again, closely with whoever our contractor ends up being. So we're going to all work together to make sure that everything's getting submitted in a timely manner, and we are meeting all of the requirements that TDA needs us to meet for these projects. I don't know if that answered your
What
question.
about on the ground?
On the ground, excellent. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit more in our project engineer, Eddie's realm of expertise. So he's usually the one, usually your project engineer is the one who keeps close ties on your contractor. I don't do it quite as much. I might do a little bit just for catching up on payroll stuff and making sure that we've got the pay apps submitted that we need and backup information. But yeah, it's going to be Eddie that's going to be checking in with your contractor to make sure that progress is moving forward. We will probably try to, TDA, Department of Agriculture, has built-in thresholds basically for these projects. And they also want to check in and make sure that the progress is moving along. We're actually up against, for this project in particular, we are up against our 12-month threshold. That's happening actually at the end of this month, which if you guys were wondering why we're calling a special session on the 29th, that's why. So we're actually trying to get the award for this contract done before we hit our 12-month threshold. But we have a year after that to move forward with this project. So it is definitely front of mind that we need to keep it moving.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If the contractor doesn't comply with the construction design or the finishing touches on whatever they dig up, leveled ground and
Yeah.
clean up everything, so we contact the project manager or can I as commissioner, and I know I can address that issue, but like, we need to make these
Can I say
contracts.
something? Can I say something? Commissioner Gonzalez and Commissioner Aguilar, those are good questions. And being that we're going to start having several, not only this one, we have about 6 or 7 other projects going to be going on. As a county, we have to be diligent on making sure the construct is meeting what the scope is asking for. So I am going to ask Lance Brown, going to kind of change his job description just a little bit. He's going to play a part on being the boots on the ground. And I ask you commissioners, I know you guys have been asking questions about this, and I'm going to ask you all to play a bigger part on that role to make sure what's being set down as infrastructure or whatever it is, that if it's calls for a 3/4 inch pipe, that's what exactly is getting put in there, and that we're following deadlines and we're following what the scope is asking for. So yes, we're going to try to do things different on these grants and these projects that are coming up as a county as a whole. So I appreciate you guys, whatever you guys can help with and I know we can depend on you guys. So I appreciate it, and that's my answer to the project manager portion of that question.
Thank you, Judge. I think that's a great idea. We've definitely had, some questions in the past, and it is challenging because, from where I'm sitting, I've just got contact basically with the engineer and the prime. So I have seen a lot more folks, municipalities lately getting where they've got their own, crews that will come out and double check. So I think that's great when that happens. Make sure that, nothing is getting missed and you guys are getting exactly what you want.
Well, I think it makes a huge difference when you have somebody within the county, like the judge is saying, because his best interest is the county versus, not gonna say nothing bad about any contractor, but they go and they're out of here and we're stuck with what's there. And then later on, we end up paying the price for it. And they ask us, well, wasn't anybody there making sure it was done right?
Well, and I mean, in theory, you've got bonds that are there to help with that, but I know that's a pain.
And then the thing
it's-
is, we hear about it.
Yeah.
People come to us. They
Yeah.
won't go to the engineer, they'll come to us.
They'll come
What
to
happened here,
Yeah.
So,
No, that's a great idea. I think that's, well, any way that I can help or facilitate with that, please let me know. I'm happy to do it, set up extra meetings if we need to, whatever we need to do.
Lucy, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Introduce a motion. Motion to approve the So section 3, we haven't voted on it, no?
Is there an action?
Discuss and consider. Yeah, make a motion to accept the items presented, 10.2.
I'll second the motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Line item 7.3, discuss, consider, take action to approve a resolution authorizing county judge of Jim Wells County to apply for a grant funding through the Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program, House Bill 3000, for the purchase of an ambulance, including necessary accessories and then modifications, which if approved, be used subject to a right of use agreement with the current provider, Allegiance Ambulance Service.
Can I say something here?
Sir, go ahead, Judge.
Okay, this item, House Bill 3000, this is one of the bills that myself and colleagues around our area and rural areas and rural counties worked real hard at the legislature. We finally got it approved, and for a county our size, I think we're eligible for 350,000. This is to purchase an ambulance. Last week and a half ago, myself, our grant administrator, Norma Salas, Lance Brown, our emergency manager, and our county attorney, Michael Guerra, met with Joey Campos and Mr. Gillespie from Allegiance, our provider for emergency medical services. And we went through the contracts. We went through what Jim Wells County is responsible for and what is Allegiance responsible for. I think we do have Joey Campos and we have Mr. Gillespie in court today to do a little presentation. I will turn it over to them, and then I will come back after they speak.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Good morning. Always a pleasure to be here. Just like Judge said, we were approached about, Joey Campos here with Allegiance Mobile Health. We were approached, I think about a week and a half ago, about the potential for a grant that was available for you guys. And some of the wording and some of the things that were required, we already have in place. So that is a little bit convenient for us because we're already in contract with you all. And so the requirements were that you need to be in contract with an ambulance provider and so on and so forth. And so some of the questions that came up were, once this grant goes through, what now? It belongs to the county, and we're a private ambulance company. And so what we do is what we've done with other areas that we have assumed contracts over and they own their own equipment. We would have a right to use agreement. And what all that means is that while it's under our operation, we treat it like it's ours. It is licensed by us, it is insured by us, it's staffed by us. We in charge of the maintenance and the upkeep of whatever is needed while it's under our care. We give you monthly reports on the progress of that vehicle and any kind of details that go along with associated with that. Now, once this grant goes through, then we sit down, we talk about all the logistics behind what it's going to cost to staff it. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at mainly the area. Of the last year, roughly, we're looking at on a monthly basis, Jim Wells goes level 0, which means all your 3 ambulances are being used, a minimum of 52 times. So in 1 month period, 52 times, all resources are out. Okay, and we're counting on the city of Alice to assist or any kind of our neighborings. Because of Allegiance has grown and this kind of saturated this area very well, we have outlying counties that we're able to depend on. But at times, those responses are long. And so this ambulance would be beneficial, definitely. We are approximately 28 square miles of county with 3 ambulances strategically located in areas to service the citizens of Jim Wells County. And so when this question came up, it's kind of a no-brainer, $350,000 would get you a very nicely equipped ambulance with the equipment in it. And then we'll sit down and talk the logistics behind what it's going to take to staff it. And then the main question is looking at our data to see where we're going to put it. okay? Based on the call volume and the things that we've had in the last, 2.5 years or so. So we have, these such agreements are with the city of Robstown currently. Mathis also, we have an agreement with them, and the city of Corsicana, we also have a right of use agreement. So at any point in time, you feel like you can reach out to them and ask them questions. We're currently operating their equipment and their units based on whatever scheme that you guys decide. It would look, Jim Wells will be all over it. It looks however color you want to have it, and then it'll have our own little decal, and our state license would be on it. But mainly, it would be licensed by Allegiance for the medical aspect of it. And then we would progress, and tires and oil changes and all that would be our responsibility and our upkeep to report to you guys to make sure that that unit is not only in service, but also lasts a good long time. You guys have any questions?
Lifespan of an
Oh,
ambulance.
Good question.
I have something else to say. Also, in that meeting that we had, I can't leave out our fire chief from Alice and emergency manager, Patrick Thomas. He phoned in. But this grant is much like the SB 22 grant. We will file it, and the likelihood is very high that we're going to get it. And like I said, we've been working very hard on getting it. I know that I've had conversations with constituents from Orange Grove, Tecolote, and the Fremont area, adding another ambulance, and not only adding one, but adding one with the contract that we've been discussing. It's a no-brainer, just like you said, Mr. Campos. And putting a fourth one out there for the county of Jim Wells that we've been working so hard to get is crucial for our safety and security of our residents. That's all I have to say right now. Go ahead.
To answer your question, Commissioner, it all, I guess, depends on the amount of hours in use. We've managed to squeeze the first, I guess, unit we had in, let's say, for example, Medic 3, which is centrally located in Jim Wells. The lifespan for it was about 2 years. We had to replace it, yeah. But you're talking about constant moving. So we do system status management in the county in order to be able to function with a county this big. So anytime we get a call, whatever area is on that call, we start shifting resources towards the center. The center of Jim Wells is usually the busiest.
So what would happen after those 2 years?
After those 2 years, we would approach to you, we would tell you, these are the options. You can, because we purchase so many ambulances yearly, these manufacturers are able to give us a price on what the cab would cost us, and they would take them, like the box per se, and they would remount it at a much more reasonable price than if you were to buy a whole brand new ambulance. And so we could definitely come at the end of its lifespan and come and talk to the county and see what that cost would be and what our next options would be to try to replace that truck.
Or we could just opt out of it?
Or you can just opt out of it, yeah. Definitely, once this grant is in place and we know that it's coming, there's a lot of things that need to be, that we're gonna start working on. Is one, get with our vendors, our ambulance distributor, to make sure that we're the first in line to get the truck that we want, because we're not the only county that's gonna be getting awarded. So you can only imagine how many counties are gonna get awarded. They're all gonna be wanting a new ambulance. And so once we get that done, then we'll sit down and talk logistics on the wording for the contract, the additions, whatever that case may be, so that we can opt out of that fourth truck if we needed to.
You also mentioned that the insurance, you would cover the insurance on the
Yes,
vehicle.
the liability, all that stuff. Our personnel will
frees the-
be
does it
operating, the
completely
county will
free the-
have no liability based on, you will own it, but we'll be assuming liability over its function.
Basically, our own responsibility is providing the unit.
Yes, just the grant.
Mr. Campos, you said you would have to staff the ambulance. Is that a responsibility of Allegiance to?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, we currently have, your 3 ambulances are staffed 24/7. No ands, ifs, or buts. And so it is our responsibility to ensure that we have the staffing not only the staffing, but the qualified staffing to be able to handle the call volume and the nature of the calls for your area.
So, we have a contract with y'all. What's the effect to the
So
contract?
the current contract, we would have to sit down and see what the additional cost would be for that fourth truck. Look at the logistics on how many calls will be running. And that would be something that in the near future, Mr. Gillespie will be able to sit down, put some numbers to it, and we'll be able to sit down and see what addendum we need to add to the contract that will go into place. All that will be definitely presented to you all for approval before anything is done, yeah.
Sounds good. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
Read it first. Do we need to read it first?
Oh, yeah, who's gonna read the resolution?
She's gonna read.
Okay.
It's posted on the deal, you don't have to read it, right?
Oh, good. It's long.
I said, when it's posted on the website, you don't have to read them, right? Or do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you all.
You're ready.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Campos. We appreciate you.
Read it, we'll understand it better,
Oh, you're gonna read it? I'm sorry. I thought she was gonna, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Isabel Trevino, Jim Wells County Judge's Executive Assistant. Resolution 2026-0123. A resolution authorizing application for the Texas House Bill 3000 Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program. Whereas the Texas Legislature enacted House Bill 3000, 89th regular session, which established the Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program administered by the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts to assist eligible rural counties with the purchase of ambulances and related equipment. And whereas Jim Wells County, Texas meets the eligibility requirements under House Bill 3000 to apply for grant funding under the Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program. And whereas the Commissioners Court of Jim Wells County recognizes the need to support emergency medical services and ensure the continued availability and reliability of ambulance services for the residents of the county. And whereas Lone Star Ambulance Service 1 LLC, DBA Allegiance Mobile Health is a qualified ambulance service provider licensed by the Texas Department of State Health Services and currently provides or is capable of providing ambulance services within Jim Wells County. And whereas the county desires to apply for grant funds under House Bill 3000 on behalf of the county and in coordination with the identified ambulance service provider. Now therefore be it resolved by the Commissioners Court of Jim Wells County, Texas, that the Commissioners Court hereby authorizes the County Judge of Jim Wells County, Texas, to prepare, submit, and file an application for grant funds under the House Bill 3000 Rural Ambulance Service Grant Program with the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts. The county judge is further authorized to execute any and all applications, contracts, agreements, certifications, assurances, amendments, and other documents necessary or incidental to the application, acceptance, and administration of the grant, if awarded. The county approves the inclusion of Lone Star Ambulance Service 1 LLC, DBA Allegiance Mobile Health, as the qualified ambulance service provider associated with the grant application, subject to applicable agreements and program requirements. The Commissioners Court acknowledges that any grant funds awarded must be used in accordance with House Bill 3000 and comptroller rules, including the purchase of an ambulance or related authorized equipment within time period required by law. The county judge is authorized to accept grant funds on behalf of Jim Wells County should the application be approved and to ensure compliance with all grant conditions. Signed this day, the 23rd day of January, 2026.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So I had a motion to approve resolution authorizing County Judge of Jim Wells County to apply for grant funding through the Rural Ambulance Grant Service Program.
I had the second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, line item number 8, right-of-way permit. Discussion regarding draft ordinance establishing right-of-way permits requirement and fees for cut, bore, and occupancy of county roads right-of-way.
Sorry, guys, I was already 2 minutes in before I knew I was still muted. Uh, uh, okay, let me start over. So, this is for discussion only today. This is for y'all to look at. This is updating our right-of-way ordinance. Our current one is, I think it was here before I came into office, so it's over 10 years old. And it really just speaks to pipelines cutting across our right of ways. A lot of companies now are using the boring process. Some of the companies have approached us about using the easement and running parallel to our county roads, which is a whole different issue. What this ordinance does is updates to speak about any type of pipeline, whether it's oil, gas, water. It also speaks to telecommunications, fiber optic lines, which are becoming more and more common, and basically just updates the ordinance so that we can, be clear. There's always been some question because if they're not cutting our road and they're boring underneath, do we still charge a fee? And we have been. We've been doing that, and we haven't had any pushback yet. But it'd be safer to put that in writing. In addition, and there's an interest in the county knowing where these lines are, so that you as commissioners can know, what activity is going on, so that you can inform your crews. There's a line running here, or there's a line running parallel to one of our county roads in this location. So we have an interest in doing that. I just had Isabel pass out a draft of the application form. It's pretty simple. It's about a page and a half. And what I do need some direction from y'all on is the situation, because it's $500 if they go horizontally across the right of way, which is usually a cut or a bore. You'll see that the ordinance requires that the road be reconditioned to as good or better of what it was before the cut. But the question on that I need some direction on is these that go parallel to the roads. We've had a couple of those where, especially the fiber optic, they like to run in the ditch along the road. And there's three ways that the state is gives us. One is to do per linear foot. We can charge per linear foot, a one-time fee. We can just charge a straight flat fee, which is what we've been doing, $500. I think we made one exception on there was a Miss Gonzalez that came before us about 6 months ago, and she wanted to tie into a well, and I think we changed that to more of a linear foot fee. And then there's also a provision where we could charge an annual fee, where, like, as long as you have the line there, every year you're going to have to pay us. So I'd like y'all to look at that and give me some feedback at the next meeting, or before the next meeting, so that I can make those changes and we can adopt this hopefully at the February meeting. Does anybody have any questions?
Mr. Guerrero, I got a question. What about like your water districts? Will they be like instance for water leaks and stuff like that? They cut through the road?
No, we don't know that if they're you're talking about like the one in Ben Bolt, or even the city of Alice has some lines.
Yes.
I think we probably need to add some exemption language, because they're political subdivisions, and they should probably be exempt. This is more directed at private companies and private utility companies.
And another question was, $500 is the max that we can go, right?
Yes.
But
Except on the ones that run parallel, because those are using our ditch. And
okay, so how
sometimes,
much can we go into parallels?
well, that's what I want y'all to give me some feedback on. I mean, I can check around other counties and see what they're charging, and to give us an idea. But if it's a
Excuse me, on a parallel, we can have a minimum, and then if it exceeds that minimum, then we'll go by foot, because
that's a good idea. Some of them we get into the thousands of feet. I think
And
that
would
one
that be
that
for
was
precinct or
no,
county?
no, it would be whatever we adopt is going to be countywide.
But what I'm saying, if we're gonna charge these people for parallel, let's say it goes from precinct 1 to precinct 2, do they pay for each one, or do they just a one-time deal? Follow me?
It would be a one-time deal. Cindy, that's a question for Cindy. I don't know if Cindy,
She just walked in.
does that go to general revenue or to the R&B?
No, it's the respective R&B that it's crossing, so.
Okay, so then in that
Oh.
situation, we would prorate the number of feet that it goes through one and the number of feet it goes to the other, and just prorate it and deposit a prorated amount to each R&B fund.
Okay, but my question was, do we charge a permit for each precinct, or is it gonna be a one-time precinct? I mean,
No, it would be one permit, but the money would be divided. Assuming it's the same project. Now, if it's two different roads, we get them to get two different permits.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah, just get back with me with your suggestions. I'll incorporate the changes, and hopefully we can have it at the February 13th, it looks like.
all right, I'll get some info.
So this was just for discussion today. So
Yes, yes. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, line item 9. Commissioner George Aguilar. Discuss, consider, take action to approve a purchase of a 2026 Chevrolet 3500 four-wheel drive crew cab WT check number 31043 from Sames Laredo Chevrolet. The TIPS contract number is 240901 for the amount of 60,500.
Commissioners, Judge, on this particular purchase, before we attempted to contact the vendor, I made sure with Cindy that the vendor was either TIPS or buy board. So they got a TIPS contract number, and I've submitted all the information to the auditor. I believe everything's correct.
We're waiting for the final, they were waiting for a final reply from the vendor so we can do the final approval of the procurement.
Okay. So, once we get the final approval, we'll go ahead and purchase it. If not, we'll bring it back. If it doesn't go through, we'll bring it back to Commissioner's Court.
Okay, so.
I'll make a motion to
you wanna
accept.
table or
No, I'm gonna make a motion to approve.
pending?
You're making a motion? Pending the procurement? Okay. You're making a motion, Mr. Aguilar?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I make a motion to accept item number 9.1, pending the procurement policy approval.
Second motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same
Aye.
sign. Motion passes. Line item number 9.2. Discuss, consider, and take action to authorize County Judge Pedro Pete Trevino Jr. to purchase and execute all documents on behalf of Jim Wells County regarding the purchase of property 1 PS Joseph Oil and Gas SD, middle part of M, owner Roman Gonzalez, owner ID 1547304, property 2 PS Joseph Oil and Gas SD, LT, north part of M. Owner Abraham Flores, ID 1531904, both properties located in Alice, Texas. A portion of property 2 will be surveyed when sale is approved.
On these particular properties, Commissioners, Judge, they're adjacent to our precinct 1 yard. They're behind our yard. There's a vacant lot that belongs to Mr. Roman Gonzalez, and the other one belongs to the Ace Automotive, which the owner is Abraham Flores. We're gonna buy a partial, a piece of that lot, so it'll be lined up with our north fence of our property, and we'll extend our yard a little bit more, because we're kind of a little bit short on space, so that'll help us a great lot.
Is all this property cleared of all, any kind of liens or any taxes or anything?
That, Commissioner, and that was a question, there was an issue. This, Commissioner Gonzalez had previously attempted to, purchase this property, and there was a lien situation. It appears that that has been resolved, but, as always, we'll need to go through Stewart Title Company to make sure, we're covered on that end. And with that in mind, Commissioner Aguilar, would Mr. Flores be willing to sell the entire property? Because if not, we have to do the survey before we go to title.
Well, no, sir, because he's got a mobile home residence and behind the shop, so he doesn't
Okay.
want to bother any of that property. Just, he's willing to sell that portion of it, and
Okay, well then we need to get that survey done first, because Stewart Title won't accept the earnest money contract until we have a
Okay.
property description of what we're doing. So we got to do it in that order. Let's get the survey done, get the earnest money contract submitted to Stewart just to make sure we're covered, and then we can close on the property.
sounds good to me.
Okay.
So, let's see. I'll make a motion to approve, to authorize county judge to purchase a property based on the, executing the survey first, then proceeding with the documents for the sale.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Line item 10. Commissioner Precinct 4, Huicho Gonzalez, discuss, consider, and take action for Commissioner Precinct number 4, Huicho Gonzalez, to use the Jim Wells County Women's Building on January 26, 2026 at 6 p.m. for a focus group meeting for Phase 2 of the PetSmart grant, and to waive fees for the use of the building.
Guys, this is the PetSmart grant that we've been working on for the last year and a half or so. And we're needing a place to meet. Last time we met in Benbolt, but we're gonna, since we included the people in the Rancho Alegre area, we're trying to centralize it a little bit more. So we needed a place that was more closer to each other areas. So,
If I may, on the 26th, you're talking about the women's building?
yes, sir.
That's gonna be our warming center.
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna have participation or not. That's the only thing, whenever I got with you, Mr. Garcia, remember we said, I mean,
We can include them in a meeting.
okay, I'm just saying that there's gonna be some
very
cots.
educational.
Yeah, there's gonna be some cots there and stuff, if we have participation. I just didn't want that to interfere with you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for the information. And to be honest with you, right now, I just texted a lady, and I'm not sure whether she's gonna even be able to hold that meeting that day because of the, due to the weather. But I just wanna make,
We can approve, just in case.
ask it, and maybe we have to change the date to later.
And,
We just gotta get it done before February 1st, so.
Commissioner, something like this doesn't even have to come to court. You just call the office, and if the building's available, you get it, because county offices,
Okay,
county, like the sheriff's department, they call, if it's available, they just book it, so
okay.
for
All right.
future.
Okay, thank you. So we could go ahead and,
we
do we
make
have
a
to make a
motion?
motion on it, or we just, it's okay?
Oh, whatever you want to do,
Okay.
we can motion, I make a motion, you can use it as long as you can, it
Okay.
works out.
A second.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
All right,
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
thank you, guys.
Motion passes. Okay, line item 11, District Attorney Carlos Garcia, discuss, consider, take action on a resolution for the Jim Wells County, Brooks County Victim Assistance Program Grant number 3876208.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is Carlos Garcia, the District Attorney. This resolution is for a continuing grant. We're currently in the 8th year of this grant. If this grant were to be approved, it would be during the 9th year of this grant. This grant started off with one crime victim coordinator, and it has now grown to the point where we've got one prosecutor that handles protective orders. We've got a legal assistant and two individuals that work as the crime victim coordinators. They cover both counties. There is a match of 20%. This grant, as basically where it's grown up to, the total is about $300,000. Now, this last year, we didn't use all of the $300,000. We got into about $278,000. We had one employee who was out with some on medical leave, so that kind of changed some of the numbers and some other things that we didn't spend on. But the match has generally come from either asset forfeiture funds or and we've also gotten some for some in-kind match. One of the things that's going to change, we started it midway through this last grant period, and we're going to continue, is Brooks County was able to change the job description of one of the employees out of Brooks to make that employee, at least 50% of their time would be a crime victim coordinator assigned in Brooks, only handling certain items in Brooks, but that has allowed us to now use some of those funds from that position as part of the match. So, it just took a little bit of time to get it done because they have a different budget cycle than Jim Wells has and a different budget cycle than what the grant deals with. But now those changes have already been made, so that's going to help a lot with that. But either way, the match does not come from general fund out of Jim Wells. As far as the grant, I do have a proposed resolution. I know I had submitted two because the one we did first was basically just updating last year's. Well, and I'm putting this out because if anybody didn't catch this, there is a new requirement in all of these resolutions that go through the governor's office that require us to not only designate the authorized official, but the resolution must designate the financial officer as well. So that is included. So just in case both are floating around, the one that needs to be signed is the one that includes that particular paragraph. If there's no questions, I will read the resolution.
Yeah, go ahead and read the resolution.
Thank you. Resolution of Jim Wells County Commissioners Court, submission of the Jim Wells and Brooks Counties Victims Assistance Program, grant number 3876208, fund source VA-Victims of Crime Act Formula Grant Program. Whereas the Jim Wells County Commissioners Court finds it is in the best interest of the citizens of Jim Wells County that the Victims of Crime Act Formula Grant for Jim Wells and Brooks County Victims Assistance Program be operated from October 1, 2026 through September 30th, 2027 term, And whereas the Jim Wells County Commissioner Court agrees to provide applicable matching funds for the said project as required by the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division grant application, and whereas the Jim Wells County Commissioners Court agrees that in the event of loss or misuse of the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division funds, said funds will be returned to the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division in full, and whereas the Jim Wells County Commissioners Court designates the 79th Judicial District Attorney as the grantee's authorized official, and the authorized official is hereby given the authority to apply for, accept, reject, alter, or terminate the grant on behalf of Jim Wells County, and whereas the Jim Wells County Commissioners Court designates the Jim Wells County Treasurer as the grantee's financial officer, and the financial officer is given the authority to submit financial and/or programmatic reports or alter a grant on behalf of the applicant's agency. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Jim Wells County Commissioners Court approves submission of the grant application for the Victims of Crime Act Formula Grant for the Jim Wells and Brooks Counties Victims Assistance Program to the Office of the Governor, Criminal Justice Division, to be passed and approved this day.
Thank you, Carlos. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 11.1 is presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Carlos?
Thank you, Carlos. Item number 12, Sheriff's Department. Discuss, consider, and take action on whether to ratify or deny sheriff's proposed implementation of salary caps applicable to certain sheriff offices, employees that result in reduction to the current compensation of existing employees.
Commissioner Garcia, I'm requesting that the court table this item. We're going to have more meetings on this issue, and if needed, we bring it back to Commissioners Court.
Make a motion to table item number 12.1 is presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to table. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. And item 13, Treasurer's Report, and other monthly reports. Discuss, consider, take action to approve County Treasurer's Report and other monthly reports. I entertain a motion. Is there a motion?
To approve County Treasurer's Report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, line item 14, Auditor's Report. Okay, discuss, consider, take actions to approve Auditor's Report.
Yes, Judge and Commissioners, we can start with the sales tax report. So this is, of course, going to be through the end of December 2025, rounding out the year. You'll see the first page, what the budgeted amount was 2.682 million, and we did end up collecting 2.857 million. So we did collect at 106%. So sales tax, actually across all general fund and road and bridge, we did come up over the amount that we did budget for. So that's nice to see for the community of James County that we did come up in the positive. I guess we can look through the month. We had a really good December on that second page. You'll see December really helped us go over. It was 480,954 versus the prior month at 268,000. I'm rounding here. So we did go up a good amount in December. You'll kind of see our neighbors, City of Alice, of course, they did have a good month also. They did go up 10%. City of Orange Grove and City of Fremont took a little bit of a dip from November to December. So you'll see that percentage as a decrease. If you move over to the right, you'll see kind of where we landed in 2025 versus 2024. Actually, James County was the only entity that came up at a higher amount versus last year. We collected an additional 202, 830,000 versus last year. Whereas City of Alice, City of Orange Grove, and City of Fremont did collect a little less versus last year. So it's kind of interesting to see. So overall, yeah, that's kind of where we landed with our sales tax for 2025. And then the next report is the auditor's report. This is going to be, of course, the revenues collected for 2025 versus our budget and our expenditures that were expensed in 2025 versus our budget. That first page, we'll start off with the revenues. General fund, we did come up positive 2%. We ended up collecting $360,189,000 more than what we had estimated for revenues. Then you go down to the road and bridge department, and they did also come up collecting an additional or 73,000 more than what we had estimated in revenues. So that's nice to see. Whenever Judge and I are working on the budget, we do really concentrate on going conservative on our revenues because we don't want to give false numbers. So this really states, that exactly. So we did come up a little higher than what we had budgeted. So that's nice to see. If you go down, you'll see a couple of the other funds. And of course, the other funds did come in also. So total revenues with all these funds that we have on here, we ended up collecting at 105%. So we did great on the revenue side. If you go on to the next page, you'll see the expenditures. First two pages are going to be all our general fund departments. Of course, at the end of the year, everybody should be at 100 or less. So you'll kind of see all the general fund departments on the first two pages. As a total, we ended up at 95%. So our expenditures were controlled overall. Everybody played a big part in this. There are a couple of isolated expenses that did go over. I know Judge and I have been in discussion, a couple of commissioners, so those will be, continuing concerns that we will continue to address. But overall, we did good on the expenditures. Move on to the third page, and you'll see the road and bridges. Combined, they're at 92% expenditures, so they did really well as also. Once you combined all the funds, we ended up at 97%, so a positive variance of 3%. So that is, we had a good 2025. Congratulations to everybody. Y'all, everybody worked together and ended up in the positive.
I would like to say something. Can y'all hear me? Ms. Garcia, thank you for that report. The general fund shows that we're 5% variance and 3% altogether. I know I got preliminary numbers that were in the black, $669,000, not counting $282,758.47 from our investments. So these preliminary numbers show that we're in the black, and that causes us to smile, Commissioners Court. This is huge. We've done an excellent job. We've shown our constituents that we are committed to taking care of their tax money, that our directors and our elected officials, we've done an excellent job in making sure that we stay under budget. This cause really causes for a celebration. Of course, we have to wait till June to make sure that the numbers are what they are. But usually, our auditor's office, they're pretty darn close when it comes to the end. So I like to for everybody to give themselves a round of applause right now. This is huge. This is huge. As county judge and your financial administrator and commissioner's court. I applaud you guys for doing a heck of a job. We're making good decisions and we're making these decisions with our constituents in mind. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the auditor's report.
My battery is low, so if I disappear, it's because my batteries ran out on my laptop. But go ahead, continue.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Line item 15, payrolls and bills. By the way, they were revised. Discuss, consider, and take action on payroll and bills as submitted by the county auditor, with the exception of Fund 52, 53, and 54.
Before we approve these bills, I have some concern. Up to I think half of this month, when the sheriff submitted the inmate transfer expense report bills, they totaled up to 16,836 so far for the month of January. I mean, that's not even for the whole month. That's a reason to be concerned and alarmed. I don't like those numbers because that's going to tell you a lot for the rest of the year. You know, where are we going to get to pay the excessive transportation of inmates plus the housing? And we don't even have numbers on housing yet, do we?
These numbers are only for the transport company. They haven't, I haven't received anything for the in-house.
So,
I'm sure they're coming.
yeah.
So we got a lot of transfers from out of state?
No, the transfers that were submitted, they're all in the state. I mean, they're just a lot of
Sorry?
within.
They're in,
Oh, yeah.
but they're supposed to be for just out of state transfers. I specifically asked twice.
Definitely think that's a discussion that we need to have for sure.
I think this needs to be addressed with the sheriff. We need to put an item on the agenda, next Commissioner's Court, and address this issue because it's going to get out of hand. And we need to, as Commissioner's Court, we need to keep a tight lid on this. You know, we just can't let it get out of hand because it gets expensive. And you see the list on your vouchers that how many transports they did, and $650 per inmate, that gets pricey. There has to be some other method of transporting where it doesn't cost the county so much because we have excessive transports and cost, you know, that cuts down on other things that the county is trying to work on. So,
Can I say something here, please?
Sure.
Commissioners, it is a concern, but can we meet with the sheriff? Can I recommend that you, Commissioner Aguilar, and you, Mr. Commissioner Gonzalez, setting a meeting with the sheriff, and we can iron things out. And then we can bring it to court if needed. Would that work for you guys?
Be three, so. That'd be,
Sir?
I said we couldn't be three of us. It had to be you and somebody else.
Well, that's why I'm recommending that it be you, Mr. Gonzalez, and you, Mr. Aguilar, the two commissioners that can meet with him, and then if needed, we can bring it to court, or if we can iron it out there, then it suffice. Are y'all willing to do that?
That's fine. My concern is that I asked it twice in that meeting. It was out of state.
Yeah. No, I remember that. I remember that vividly.
Now it's being used for just local, which is not what it was.
Yeah, no, I remember that vividly, Commissioner, and you're exactly right. But I think it behooves us to meet with him first, and then if needed, we can bring it to Commissioner's Court.
I think transparency is lacking here on behalf, of the Sheriff's Department. Hey, we're accumulating these charges. I mean, we need to be aware. I mean.
Oh, but you also got to be aware that I think, Ms. Garcia, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that he is fully, the Sheriff Department is fully staffed now.
Yes, that is correct. He is fully staffed and all the positions in the jail have been filled. So it'd be a nice discussion to, because I think last time he had presented was when they were like, there was a lot of vacancies. So I know the use for the transport company, I think that's what he's saying. So now things have changed. He's fully staffed now. So it would be a nice discussion to see what his plans are, and we can definitely discuss that.
I think we can meet with the sheriff, but, we need to have some alternatives as to transport.
Exactly, 100%, Commissioner. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, motion to approve the bills.
Second.
There's a motion. Is there a second? I'll second the motion.
I did.
Nobody made it.
Because you took it as he was making the motion. Yeah.
She thought that you made the motion. Oh, no, I said,
She was entertained.
I needed a motion to approve the bill. Anyway,
Second.
there's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Motion
Item
to-
16,
Motion to adjourn.
it's time to adjourn, guys. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
There's a motion and a second.
Oh, you
All in
did? I'm
favor
sorry.
indicate by
I thought
saying
he
aye.
was, I just heard him. I'm already dead.
Okay,
Just as
motion
bad.
passes. Okay.
Thank you all very much.